Hey, what's up you guys, it's Sammy and today I'm here recreating this look. It is a complete drugstore makeup look with some first impressions. Before you guys go, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Alright, so for the first step, we're going to use primer, and I have two. They are both from Maybelline. One is the Baby Skin, and one is the Master Prime. I like to put this all over my face, and I like to put this, the Master Prime, because it's the Blur and Illuminate. And so I like to put it on my cheeks, and on my forehead, and on my chin. And just kind of really focus on that, because the only thing that is wrong with this one is that it can kind of, the whole thing is for it to illuminate, and so when you put it everywhere, your whole entire skin gets shiny, and so some people do like that. I don't, so I just put it on the places that I know I'm either going to put a highlighter or I'm trying to make pop a little bit more, so that way your skin looks glowy, but not all around too much glowy. So now moving on to foundation, I am going to use L'Oreal's Too Much Lumi. I had mentioned this in my everyday makeup routine, and I didn't really talk in favor of it, but then I tried it a couple of days ago, and I really ended up loving it. So I don't know what it was the last time, but I definitely love it now, and it has kind of turned into my everyday makeup or my everyday foundation, and so I'm going to use it today. The thing that I do love about it, instead of talking about not liking it, is that it does actually illuminate, which is the purpose of it, and for my skin being slightly dull and slightly dry, this is really good for it. So if you have dry skin, I would definitely recommend you trying this. So moving on to concealer, I do have two different products for concealer. I have the Maybelline Age Rewind in the brightener, not the concealer, and I got this, and this is kind of a first impressions video too, as I mentioned before, because some of these products are new. This is actually the first one that I'm talking about that's new, and I'd gotten this because Michelle Reed, who I watch all the time, always talks about the concealer itself, and so I went to buy the concealer, but I ended up buying the brightener, and I tried it and I really like it. It brightens. It's not kidding when it says that it will super bright your under eyes, and that's where I use it. I tried using it right here at my nose and on my forehead, and I did like it, but I kind of tend to only do my chin and my forehead, so I would probably do that today. And then as far as acne and acne scars go, I am going to use the NYX color correcting palette. As I've mentioned before, I do love this palette, and I find that it just really has a good wide range. And I did actually start trying to lightly bronze with the darker shade, and the shade's just a tiny bit too light for me, so where it's like not too much bronzing, but that is nice for some days, and so I have been doing that. But today I'm just going to use the green, the yellow, and the actual concealer to cover up acne, and the yellow is actually for the acne scars, like the darker parts. And I recently researched color correcting a lot, because I know I had mentioned it before, but I really only knew like the green and the like pink and yellow, or not the pink and yellow, the green and the oh yeah, the pink and yellow for under eyes, and then like this for concealing. So I did do some more research, and I learned that I can use the yellow and the tan for my acne scars, and it really helps a lot. For foundation powder, I am going to be using HD high definition powder, and this is a translucent powder. And when finding stuff to use to film this video, powder was probably my hardest, which is kind of ironic considering how many powders they have at the drugstore. Like, that's definitely something they don't skip on. But I didn't want to find one that was cakey, and I wanted to find a translucent powder, and I had already had this one, but I still looked anyways, and then I realized that I love this one so much. I'm not going to be baking my face, but I am going to be just making sure that it's covered and that everything stays all day. So I'm going to use this with just a really big fluffy brush, and just put it all over my face. So next for my face makeup, I am going to go on to bronzer, and I do have Rimmel's Natural Bronzer with me. When trying to find a drugstore bronzer, I went through Maybelline, I went through Rimmel, I went through L'Oreal, I went through NYX, and it was honestly really challenging for me to pick one, because for about 2 years now I've always used Benefit's Hoola bronzer, and so having to transition to drugstore bronzers was actually pretty challenging for me. I have heard a lot of people talk really good about this. This actually is my first time putting it on. My biggest fear is that it will be too orange for me, but we'll try it together and see how we like it. Honestly didn't go too heavy with it, but looking at it, I don't really think it's too orange. I feel like if I kept adding and adding, obviously it would add up to be orange, but overall I actually really like this, and for the price it's really good. I'm pretty sure it was like $5 or $6 compared to like the $28 for Hoola bronzer. So I really like this, and I think this might be a new go-to for me. So now moving on to blush, I am going to use True Match's C56 Rosy Outlook. And I was never really big on blush until I had to go to prom, and I wanted to find a blush because I just really wanted to have a full face of makeup for prom. And so I ended up going, and I do obviously use a lot of L'Oreal's products, and so I figured I would try them. I knew their baked blushes were really good, but I couldn't quite convince myself that I liked any of the colors for their baked blushes, so I ended up going with this one. And like I said, it's the Rosy Outlook, and so I'm just gonna put it on my cheeks very lightly. I don't want anything too much, even though it is a full coverage makeup look. I just still don't care for blush as much on my skin, but honestly you can just apply as much as you want. Moving on to highlighters, I literally just got this highlighter like probably an hour ago. That was also that was the hardest thing for me to find when preparing for this video, because I feel like a lot of people have been talking about how much like drugstores are finally recognizing highlighters coming out and making a big deal out of it, and like a lot of them have been making highlighters, but I feel like I can never find a really good one. And when you do research, it comes up, like you'll type in best drugstore like highlighters, and it comes up with like blushes and stuff. And I know you can kind of use like a dual like blush and illuminator, but I really want just like a straight up like highlighter. Like that's what it's meant for, that's what it is. And so leave it to L'Oreal. Like I said, I love L'Oreal, and they have their Lumi Power Glow illuminators. And I got this one in, I think I got this one in rose. Yeah, this is the rose one. And I did swatch it, obviously. I'll swatch it for you guys now. I do blend all of the colors. You can like leave it by itself, but I like the blending because it does give like just a really like warm, I don't know if you guys can see that, kind of pinky but still white almost highlighter. And so I am going to put it on my cheeks and on my forehead, and a touch on my skin, or my chin and my nose. So for brows, I am going to be using two different products. I'm going to be using Maybelline Brow Drama. You guys have seen it here on my channel before. I do really love this, and it really just holds my eyebrows in place, which, like I said before in the last video that I used it, my eyebrows are curly and they do curl, so that's the whole point of this for me. But it also does give a little bit of just a little fill, nothing too dramatic. But that is why I'm also going to go in with the Milani Stay Put Color Brow, and I'm going to use the brush that it came with because since this is kind of a first impressions but kind of not really, I literally got this an hour ago, so this is completely my first impression. Haven't even swatched it. All I know is that it's the same color as my eyebrows, and so I really hope that I'll give the genuine first impression of it. Alright, so my first impression is I have not actually tried the Anastasia Dip Pomade, but I know that's what this is compared to, and if it's anything like the if the Dip Pomade is anything like this, I can definitely assure that it's going to be great. I do really love this. Not only does it like add to the hold that the Brow Drama does, but it's like just really great color. I am an 05 dark brown, and at first it looks really light, but it's dark brown. Like, they're not kidding when they say that. So my eyebrows are a little bit darker than usual, I think, but I almost am kind of digging it, and I did just get them done today, so they are a little bit thinner. And there was a spot right here where like I was afraid that it wasn't gonna be able to fill it in, but it really did. So honestly, like, I give this like a 9 out of 10, and I don't even know what the one is. I'm just afraid to say 10 because like this is really amazing, and I'm definitely going to use this almost probably in place of the Anastasia Brow Wiz. So moving on to eyes, I am going to prime my eyes with the Instant Age Rewind Maybelline Concealer, and I'm just going to put that all over my eyelid, mostly to brighten my eyes, but also to prime it so that the eyeshadow stays all day. Alright, so for eyeshadow, I am going to use the Gilded Gold palette by Ulta. It's just a very neutral palette, and so to start out I'm going to use this color right here, which is Bone, and I'm just going to put that all over my eyelid. So for my transition shade, I am going to go in with Tan with my Real Techniques brush and really just work all over my crease. And since it is a transition shade, you don't really have to be too precise with it. For the next crease color, I'm going to go in with Singed with my MAC 36 brush, and I'm just going to work more towards half the lid and in the outer crease. Last crease color, I'm going to go in with my MAC 224 SE brush and go in with Scorched and really focus on the outer corner and transitioning and blending up. For my lid shade, I am going to take my 252 MAC brush, and this brush is really good for the lid shade because it's really just to like pack on eyeshadow, which is what you want for the lid. So I am going to go in with Starlit and just take that and pack it on my lid. So moving on to eyeliner, I am going to use L'Oreal's Voluminous Superstar, and this is my first time actually using it. Like I said, some of these are first impressions, and the only thing I'm worried about is that dent right there in the brush. I can see what they're going for to try and make it better to angle, but I just don't know how I'm going to like it. But I'm going to try it. I'm going to do a cat eye and everything, and then I'll let you guys know. Alright, so my first impression was that it was hard to put on, like I said before. It wasn't. It was actually really easy to apply, so they definitely have that going for them. The only complaint I do have is that it is liquid, which I know, I mean, I bought a liquid eyeliner, but as far as like how liquid eyeliner holds, I feel like the first time I like touch my eye or anything that this is going to come off. But as far as application, I would give it probably like a 6 out of 10. Alright, for mascara, I'm going to use the Rocket by Maybelline. I've said this is my dupe for They're Real, and I still hold to that because the They're Real by Benefit really just makes my lashes longer, and this is kind of almost to that extent, but not fully there. But this is my favorite drugstore mascara. Before I do my lower lash line, I am going to put the Scandalous Eyes eyeliner by Rimmel. It's in nude, so that way it'll make my eyes pop. I've heard that this is like a life-changing thing. Once you put it on your eyes, it makes your eyes bigger. So I am going to try this out. This is kind of a first impressions. I've swatched it on my hand just to make sure that it wasn't too white. But as far as putting it under my eye, this is the first time I've done that. For the last step, I do have a lipstick. I'm going to use a Rimmel Kate Moss 17. It's just this really nice mauve pink color, and I really like it because it's a very neutral pink. And so, yeah. Alright guys, this is the final look. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really just wanted to do this video so that way I'm not constantly doing high-end products and that you guys know what affordable makeup is good. So please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I love you guys. Bye.